Hello students, welcome to CR Digital Classes. I'm Hasham Ali Khan. So this platform of CR Digital Classes will provide you a number of videos on different subjects so that the students can be able to get a lot of confidence on your subjects and they can do excellently in your examination. So in this class, I'm going to start a new topic in financial accounting, and this topic is joint venture. In the previous classes, I have explained the similar topic, consignment, and I have provided so many videos, so many classes, lectures on that topic of consignment. So now, joint venture. In examination, a theory question or problem, or both, may be asked. So students must need the complete concept clarity of the meaning of joint venture. So the theory questions which may be asked are, you can see what are the different types of theory questions which may be asked in previous examination. What is joint venture? What are the differences between joint venture and consignment? What are the features of joint venture? So these are the frequently asked theory questions on this topic of consignment. So now I'm going to explain you first of all the meaning of the term joint venture. A joint venture is a business arrangement where two or more parties will come together. They can perform some project, do some job for a specific activity. Once that activity is accomplished, then the relationship between the persons will be over. That means temporarily they are coming together. It's a temporary partnership. So a temporary partnership. You remember this? Because only a single person cannot do joint venture. At least two persons are required, or more than two also can happen. So it's a temporary partnership because it is made for accomplishing a particular activity. Once the activity is over, the relationship between the parties will be over. So when two or more parties created to accomplish a specific business goal. So remember, the first requirement is two or more parties are required. They should make an agreement that we want to achieve a particular objective, specific activity. Then the relationship will be over. The parties involved known as co-venturers. In partnership, we call them as partners. But in joint venture, the parties are called co-venturers and agree to contribute capital and share the profits and loss associated with the venture. What is the agreement? The agreement is they contribute capital, they run the activity of the business, and to share the profit or losses. Whatever profits or losses are there in the joint venture, the co-venturers will share the profit. The next one is example. One example is given here. If two individuals X and Y each invest 1 lakh rupees to purchase and sell goods. So both the parties A and B agreed that 1 lakh rupees A will contribute, 1 lakh rupees B will contribute, and they will sell the goods. Whatever profit they get, they will share the profit. And they share both the cost and profit, and after selling the goods for rupees 3 lakh. That means they have purchased, they have invested 1 lakh, 1 lakh. They sold the goods for 3 lakh. They would divide the profit equally. Apart from that, so many practical examples are there of joint venture. Another example I can give you like this. Two persons are there, X and Y. Both wants to construct flats, apartments, and sell them. So in this case, let A and B invest 50 lakh, 50 lakh. A has invested 50 lakh, B has invested 50 lakh. Out of that 1 crore, they purchased a piece of land. They constructed the flats. Once the flats are sold, whatever profit they get, the parties will share the profit. The relationship will be over. It's a temporary partnership just to construct the flats and sell it. Over. Similarly, one more example, two parties, A and B. They want to export some goods. So both of them have invested the capital. They have performed all the activity for exporting the goods. Once they have exported the goods, they got the profit, share the profit, finished, over. The relationship between the parties will be over. That is called joint venture. In simple words, it's a temporary partnership in order to accomplish a specific activity. That's it. So this is the meaning of the term partnership. Now, once they have asked in examination, what are the features of partnership? Now I'm going to explain one by one. Just I'm explaining the side heading. But in examination, you should write 1 or 2 sentences after every side heading. Right? First is agreement between 2 and more parties. At least 2 parties are required. Minimum 2 parties are required. A single person cannot make joint venture. 2 or more parties, and there should be some agreement. And temporary partnership. It is not a continuous partnership. It's a temporary partnership just to accomplish a particular activity. Just like producing the goods and selling, finished. Or constructing the flats, selling the flats, sharing the profit. Or selling the goods, exporting the goods to another country. So this is only a specific activity. That's why it is called temporary partnership. Next comes firm name. It is not required to give any firm name because it is temporary. Whereas in partnership firm, they normally give the name of the firm, partnership firm. But for joint venture, not necessary to give the name of the joint venture. Without name of the joint venture, they can complete the task. Next is profit and loss sharing. The ultimate objective of agreement of joint venture is to share the profits or losses because it's a business activity. So whenever business activity is there, normally it is a sharing of profit or losses. Next comes specific purpose. Every joint venture is there only for attaining a specific objective or specific purpose. So they come together, made an agreement, invest, manage, all these things are being done to achieve the specific objective. Without objective, no joint venture. Next comes independent businesses. Apart from joint venture, the co-venturers can do their own business separately also. It is not necessary that the co-venturer completely involved in joint venture cannot do any other thing. No, they can carry on their own other activities, other business also along with joint venture. Next feature is limited liability. The liability of the co-venturer will be limited to the amount invested in the business. That's why it is called limited liability. No ongoing partnership. That means this joint venture is not a continuous activity. Once the objective is attained or specific purpose is achieved, it will come to an end. So there is no continuity of business in joint venture. Next comes capital contribution. Every co-venturer will contribute capital because without capital, no business activity can be done. So co-venturers have to invest the money in the business. Risk sharing. Risk sharing means if there is a loss, the loss should be borne by the co-venturers just like profit. When there is profit, they will share the profit. If there is a loss or if there is a risk, the co-venturers have to bear the risk. That is called sharing of risk. So these are the features of joint venture, and these you have to write in examination. Next comes joint venture versus consignment. Many a times a theory question had been asked in examination, what are the differences between joint venture and consignment? Many differences are there. So here in a tabular form I'm explaining. In examination also it is better to present the answer in this format, right? First of all, relationship between the parties. Joint venture, the relation between the parties that of co-owners and co-adventurers. The parties, two or more parties, are the co-owners. Both are the owners or both are co-adventurers. That is the relationship. Every party is a part owner. Whereas in case of consignment, the relationship is that of a principal and agent. The principal is the consignor and the agent is the consignee. The consignee has to follow the instructions given by the principal consignor. That is the relationship. First one. Second one is method of bookkeeping. There are multiple methods of accounting. Multiple methods of accounting in case of joint venture. Different methods are there. But in case of consignment, only one method of accounting is there, which is maintained by the consignor. The consignor will make consignment account, consignee account, goods sent on consignment account. Only one method is there. Next one is continuity of relationship. In case of joint venture, the relationship is only for a short duration of time, only for accomplishing the specific purpose. So temporary relationship we can say. Once the venture is completed, the relationship is over. But in case of consignment, the relationship is continuous. That means time to time the consignor will send the goods to consignee, consignee will sell the goods and pay the amount to the consignor. Again the consignor will send the goods. So the activity is a continuous activity in case of consignment. Next comes ownership of goods. Ownership is shared by co-ventures. That means all the assets, all the resources of the joint venture are owned by all the co-venturers. The co-venturers are the part owners of the business resources. Whereas in case of consignment, the ownership lies only with the consignor. The consignee will get the possession, but the consignee will not get the ownership. Ownership is still with the consignor. Next is profit earned. The profit belongs to the co-venturers. The co-venturers will calculate the profit and share the profit. Whereas in case of consignment, the profit on consignment is solely belongs to the consignor. The consignee will not get any profit from consignment. They will get the commission because they are acting on behalf of consignor. So consignee will not get the profit. All profit will go to the consignor only. So here 5 points I have explained. Another point. Next point I will explain. That is sixth point. The sixth point, account sales. No account sales are sent between co-venturers. There is no question of any account sales in joint venture because every co-venturer knows the complete accounting. Whereas in case of consignment, account sales are required to be sent by the consignee to the consignor, explaining the detail of the goods sold, how much expenses they have incurred, how much is the commission, and how much is the value of goods unsold, and how much advance paid. All these details have to be given by consignee to consignor periodically. That is called account sales. No account sales in case of joint venture. Management. Co-venturers manage the business together. Whereas in case of consignment, the consignee is bound by the instructions of the consignor and has limited decision-making power. The consignee is only an agent. He don't have any decision-making power. All the instructions should come from the consignor. Whatever consignor says, the consignee has to follow. That's it. Whereas in joint venture, every co-venturer have equal decision-making power. Next comes finance. All co-venturers contribute capital. Every co-venturer is required to contribute for capital. But in case of consignment, the investment will be made only by the consignor. No investment is required by the consignee. Next comes risk. Risk is shared by all the co-venturers. The co-venturers are jointly liable for the risk. Whereas in case of consignment, the risk belongs to the consignor. The consignee is at no risk point because simply he has to sell the goods, pay the amount. That's it. Last one is scope. A joint venture can cover many activities beyond trade. A joint venture can be for providing service. A joint venture can be for producing the goods, or joint venture for maybe for trading activity. The scope of joint venture is very wide. For any activity we can conduct joint, which can make a joint venture. Scope is wide. Whereas in case of consignment, the scope is limited because consignment requires goods. So only for goods consignment can be done. Other than goods, no consignment. But joint venture, even services can also be done on the basis of joint venture. That's it. So these are the complete differences between joint venture and consignment. So students, in this class, I have completely explained you the meaning of the term joint venture, features of joint venture, and differences between joint venture and consignment. Hope the concept is completely clear and you will be in a position to write the theory question on this topic. So in the coming classes, we'll solve a number of problems on this topic of joint venture. All the best on behalf of SIA Publications.